What's up, everybody, and welcome to Touching Tornadoes. I should be recording this, but I'm not. This is just going to be a live, straight to YouTube bipolar check in. My name is Conrad, and I have bipolar 1 disorder with psychotic features. And um, I got diagnosed late in life at like 36 years old. But as you get to know my story, if you do, or if you don't, it doesn't matter. As you get to know it, you'll know that it's possible I had signs leading up to that, and there's a lot of time for me to discover exactly, you know, w- what you do is you reflect on that and you look back and you discover exactly when it maybe was showing symptoms or stuff like that. And so, even though I was diagnosed at I think 36 or 7. Um, I I had my first episode for sure, manic episode at 36. So we'll get into all that. I already got into all that. There's a lot of other episodes you've missed, so go back and, subscribe on the YouTube. That's where this is live at, and then if you want to possibly, um, subscribe on the podcast only. That's what I'll be kinda doing both, just putting the audio from this. So if you like the video, keep watching on YouTube. I don't know how when you do these live, sometimes they don't pop up with the other videos, so you might have to search for my live stuff. I enjoy doing it live more than I enjoy recording them. So either way, and because of that, I've been thinking a lot about how I want to share, how I wanna because I've done shows for since about 2010. I've been doing some form of a podcast. Now, the majority of those years, I was doing a comedy show with a bunch of friends and family and stuff like that, and those are all out there. But once the sickness, once I got down with the sickness, not just the great song, but with the bipolar illness, obviously it changes your entire life. And so um, I've been wondering how I can share on a more uh just more often and have it relate to people who are going through the same thing I'm going through and help if hopefully it can help. So that's what I come up with today. That's what today's new show is, like a new format of Touching Tornadoes. It's a new format of, you know, live episodes on YouTube that have to do with bipolar disorder. Because I have a list. I have a segmented it out a little bit where what I want to do is I was thinking of things that when you read all the books on how to recover and how to stay on the journey of recovery for your illness, they'll have stuff in there that you're supposed to do kind of on a daily basis. Like obviously you're supposed to, if you have medication and it's a daily medication, you're supposed to take your medication. If you have appointments with therapists, you're supposed to go to your therapist. But what seems to be the most commonly prescribed stuff is like journaling, meditation, mood journaling. And when I heard all of those terms, part of me already felt like I knew what they meant. And I don't know if I actually did. But I also didn't really know what all the different purposes for why something like that would be prescribed. So, now I've been kind of thinking about it, like what I know how to do a mood journal, like I know how to fill out the questions. And what I think a mood journal is supposed to do is not only um I think it's just supposed to ground you in the moment today. If you're being honest and you're filling it out, um you know, it's something that you can look at next week, look back on Monday the 27th at 8:41 AM, I felt like this, and, "Oh, yeah, I don't really remember," and that is something. I don't know if it's people with bipolar, but or just me, but it's like remembering how you felt is hard to do, especially in normal feelings, especially like when you're not hypomanic or manic. And so, anyways, I got a mood journal that I want to do on today's show with you guys. I got a post manic um, timeline check in, because my latest episode, I'm still getting over that. So I just had a few thoughts on that. And then we'll also end the show with like daily affirmations, which maybe that sounds, you know what I mean? Like I should be working for NPR or something, and we're just doing today's daily affirmations. It sounds a lot of this stuff sounds sissy, man. If you're like me and you come from what I come from, you know, which is just blue collar person, cut grass for my whole life, cut grass for a living, landscaper, just come from people that we go to Walmart and eat great value. Like that's us. And right there in the middle of Kansas. And so middle of the United States. I just come from this middle ground, and mental health check-ins weren't something that I grew up with, even though I'm sure it would have been beneficial. I'm positive it would have been beneficial, but it just wasn't something that we did, and it was mocked, and all of that was mocked. The stigma was I grew up with all that. So, um, this is like hard for me to do, um, because it's so different and not something that I am comfortable doing. But I felt like if I had any chance at using the tools that seem to be recommended, meaning like the mood journals and the gratitude stuff, um, you know, that's I got to do it my way. And so I can't sit there with a pen and these questions. And this is just my mood journal. And you guys can create your own, or there's a lot of templates, or you can use mine. Um, but anyways, that's why I want to do it. I wouldn't do it otherwise. If it wasn't on the show, I wouldn't do it. So I think that's a pretty good reason. So here we go. Before we get into the mood journal, though, before we actually jump into that, I do want to open with a gratitude check-in, is what we're going to call that. We could get like buzzers. Gratitude check-in. There you go. What are we happy for today, everybody? Today, enough. Today, I'm grateful for. I'm going to start the first live daily mood journal show. You know what I mean? I'm going to start that with my gratitude check-in. And it's gonna sound stupid, but I'm really grateful for my wife and kids. I'm gonna start that episode by, I'm lucky. I have been married for centuries now, and uh, my wife has learned herself what she needs to learn to love somebody with bipolar. Had she not put in any effort to learn what was going on with me, I don't know if she could have saved me or forgiven me, and it took her doing that on her own in order for her to be able to see through the illness during my manias and depressions to still love the person that is me. So I'm very grateful, and, she's the one that I feel, because that's who you hurt the most, is the ones that are closest to you, because they're the ones that love you the most. And so I'm grateful that the 3 people that live in my house, for anything else, I'm gonna end this sentence and that shame feeling that we all can share, for whatever reasons, myriad or all the reasons that we feel shame. I'll get that grip in my stomach, but for right now, I'm gonna keep that good feeling. And today's gratitude check-in, gotta be grateful for my wife for sticking in. I gotta hit. Here you go. Yeah, there you go. She deserves a hand clap. So, because she's had to educate not just herself, but my children. I wasn't, yeah. So it's pretty. I wake up knowing that I'm lucky, but I also wake up recovering from losing my mind. So, I'm grateful, but we're gonna get into, let's get into the live mood journal first. We got a sound for that? Live mood journal, everybody. Okay, talk, go. All right, live mood journal, people. This is the purpose of this thing is gonna model emotional awareness and self-regulation. Sleep hours and quality. Let's see. I've been having a tough time, so I probably fell asleep at like 7:30. See, I'm on an injectable antipsychotic and I'm on Depakote every night, which is also a mood stabilizer. And so when I combine the two, woo, I'm exhausted. So I was ready to go to bed probably when I woke up. That's when I know that I'm sliding down into the grips of post-manic depression, but I've been fighting it in a number of ways, including what I'm doing right now. So, you know, doing my best. So sleep, went to bed. I probably fell asleep at like I'll just call it 8 o'clock, which might be it's fine for now. But I woke up early. So I woke up at call it 5 because my wife and I wanted to go exercise this morning together, which is the first time we've done this in a long time. But we went to the YMCA together. So uh, if this is might be a new routine for me where I can get up early at 5, go to work out at the Y. Because what happens is if I don't have somebody kind of barking at me like with something to do, I'll procrastinate what I need to do for my job by dragging ass. My wife would call it dilly dallying. I dilly dally. So, anyways, when she's not a dilly dallyer, and so we get up. So that what's that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, I'm stupid. Uh, what was I doing? Okay, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got like 9 hours of sleep. Um, I don't know about the quality. I don't have like a sleep number bed or anything that tells me how I slept. I got a watch. I guess I could ask my watch, but never understood that. I would say if I'm rating it, because these some of these other ones have a 1 to 10, I'd give it a 6 because I fell asleep sideways on like a hamburger style on the foot of the bed next to my wife's feet. Because that's what I mean. If I take that Depakote and go lay down, it's night time. So I had to move in the middle of the night, and lately with my depression, I haven't been wanting to get undressed. And I've been also like not wanting to shower, but I had to been doing anyways. So I wear my full clothes and I sleep on top of the covers, and that's how I fall asleep. And if I'm wearing shoes, it doesn't matter. I'll just fall asleep fully clothed and ready for I'm like a mannequin that got knocked over, you know what I mean? Like, somebody pushed over a fully dressed mannequin, and anyways, so quality, I'll give it a I'll give that a 6 or something. I don't know. 6 out of 10. Energy, my energy today, I would say because I'm doing this, because I gotta give that I'm gonna give that a 6. It gave me an over a 5, so right now, I'm gonna put that as a 6. My mood, I'm in a good mood. I woke up, I've done my prayers, tried to be aware of how my prayers can overtake me sometimes, in mania, um, ask for the forgiveness, all that stuff. So my mood's good. Emotion words, I got some anxiety in me from doing this and just for the day. I got a big day ahead of me. So I'm kind of anxious and s- fearful in that thing. Body check in. I got that burning feeling in my gut. Um, sometimes you get that feeling in your gut, like, and yeah, I got that. That's how my, I call it like the Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers. And I don't know, it's because it's not the weekend. I like to do the work that I do on the weekend when nobody's at the place. And today it's busy. And so I gotta just that. So anyways, thoughts today, that's probably, I've been giving you those. I'll keep doing that. Triggers, highlights. Triggers I need to watch for are, getting caught up in the music. Sometimes the music will talk to me, especially during my, I just get hooked, like the song is specifically written for me, or I wrote the song, or whatever. And so I in post manic like I am right now and reflection, it's more the triggers are just gotta watch them. I feel okay that I am watching them. I don't know what highlights means. Coping, I've already went on my exercise today. Um, that's coping and grounding actions. Haven't done any. Oh, my gratitude. I think that's grounding, which is the next thing on the mood journal. I think it's the last thing on today's live mood journal. Nope. Gratitude and goal for today. I want to be able to. I've been having trouble of. Uh, I'm weed eating this project, and I just gotta stick to it for. I get tired after about 4 hours of standing, and 4 to 5 hours is like enough. Plus the drive time. I'm just exhausted. So my goal is to get 5 hours of kind of like nonstop movement working. Um, okay, that's a good goal. And closing reflection phrase. Ooh, I don't have one today. Not available, NA. I'm just hoping that I've been looking for I know that this is gonna help me, not just doing the doing it as a mood journal, just me talking about this to even if only one person is checking in, it doesn't matter. I just gotta get it out of me, and so I know I'm gonna get help from this, but I have really put a lot of thought into maybe how I can do something that's sustainable, that's helpful for others. So yeah, that's the reflection phrase of today. No, we're not gonna do our affirmations yet. Um, Post mania time. The only thing I want to. Okay, we're gonna do a post manic timeline check in. I'll answer it like I put it together, but um, I went manic. I'm gonna call it like on the last week of July was when it really started ticking up, and then August is just a blur, and that went into September, and it was a lot, and so Current so current phase, so days or weeks since mania is mm, we'll do this because normally I wouldn't. It's the 27th of October. Well, it's been just over 8 weeks since I was in the hospital, but I was manic in the hospital and released manic and coming down from psychosis, not even totally out. Um, so it's only been a few months here that the whole mountain has been climbed, and it was the worst. I just wanted to say that people ask, apparently, w- they ask, does it get worse as you get older? Well, for me, that's how it's went. Since my first major manic episode, each manic episode has been more scary than the last. So, um, so my current phase, and it gives me a couple options here, and they're all three relevant: exhaustion, correct rebuilding, and balance. So I'm working on all of those currently, and I try to not work on them necessarily simultaneously, but it's hard for me not to. They all connect in my mind so easy. So lingering effects is the next question, and I gotta say that is all of the brain fog and it's all real for me. And if I keep sliding, whether I want to or not, into even like a cognitive depression, it's scary because I've been to the point in the depression from my prior manic episode that you don't remember anything. I mean, like how to do anything, barely tie your shoe. So, not looking forward to going there. That's why I'm doing this. Um, I ain't going there because I'm doing this. Improvements. This is an improvement. Starting this. The hardest part today, just motivating myself. I've been having so much trouble getting motivated, like getting that extra oomph, that makes you, push for another rep if you're working out or go an extra mile if you're running. I need that oomph. And if the problem is I'm taking medication to clearly take that oomph out of me because it gets too oomphy. So, you know what I mean? Reflection. This is what was written based on, it's like an example. Recovery isn't just about coming down, it's about learning to live in the middle. Yeah, that's true. I like that it says middle. I say that a lot. So, anyways, that's the Postmania timeline check-in, everybody. Let me hit you. Boom. I got sound effects. I could do that. I've been doing this a while. Let's see. I did my live mood journal, did everything, guys. So we're gonna get to the affirmations. And I don't know if I don't need sound for this, but I have an app called I Am, and all it is affirmations, and I'll just read a few of them, and you can just put yourself in them. They help me because they just help. They're kind of stupid. It's another thing that I would make fun of, or would have been around guys that would make fun of somebody doing this, but it is what it is. It's like little prayers to yourself. So I promise myself that I will take time today to sit still and just be Conrad. I am so blessed for everything I have. I am becoming a better version of myself. I feel refreshed, excited, and determined to excel today. I don't know about that. I give myself enough time each morning to enjoy a gentle, gradual awakening. I try to do that. Okay. Every day is a new beginning. I cherish every moment spent with my family. My day is filled with reasons to be grateful. Let's rewire this brain, baby. Let's rewire it. I feel healthy and strong today. I wake up each morning with a happy heart and a clear mind. I wake up each morning with, sometimes I have to reread them. I wake up each morning with a happy heart and a clear mind. Okay. I wake up each morning with a heart full of gratitude. I make the most of this precious day. I am grateful for another day. Simple. I feel energy flowing through my body as I go about my day. And I am feeling positive that today is a good day. So, yeah, that's we'll end on that affirmation, everyone. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll just do a daily mood journal. Nobody chatted with me. That's okay. And in the future, I'll hit record and we'll start putting these episodes up on we'll start putting these episodes up on the podcast places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. For now, they've just been on YouTube. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll decide. I'm deciding on whether or not I want to um, well, basically use a different software to do the video where I can put the list that I'm reading from in front of you also if you're watching. So, but I don't want it too crazy with it. I like just hitting live and just telling you how I feel. So I've done all the other stuff. So with that being said, don't let your meatloaf. Have an okay day. Be good to yourself, and we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully.